Thanks so much for joining us on our off-grid journey. Be sure to like, subscribe, and set up those notifications. And for more tutorials, podcasts, and updates, head over to offgridbnb.com. Okay, so it's been a while since I've made another video of the build. But what we're doing today is we are building a flushing toilet, totally off-grid system. And we have bought the Home Biogas system. And right behind the camera here, we have constructed a, not only have we dug into the ground so that we can put the biogas digester bag lower than the surface of the ground, I've also built the building up on 12-foot long 4x4 pilings, and the joists come up to the 44-inch mark so that we can have stairs that walk up into the lavatory. And then when the toilet flushes, where the water pressure will be enough to overcome the upward loop of the digester inlet tube and keep back pressure from backflowing and things like that. I don't think we'll have too many problems unless we get guests that like to flush toilet paper down the toilet, and we will run into that, but I'm hoping it's not too much. We've dug down 2 feet in each one of the holes, which was a pain in the ass because we got giant stupid rocks all over the place down here, and they're big and they're nasty. But anyway, we made it through that. We've got the pilings in the ground, and I have affixed screws to each one of the bases that sit between 2 feet and about 18 inches because the ground is on a grade, so we lose about 6 inches from the higher to the lower part just to keep it all level. We lost about a 6-inch rise, but it's still fine in terms of the rise for the digester bag. And the final step as we mix the concrete is to put screws into the base, into the foot of those pilings, so it'll grab that concrete just a little better. Probably won't make an enormous difference, but we get really good gusts of wind out here in Arizona, upwards of 60 to 70 miles an hour that we call microbursts. And so those really grab stuff and they really push stuff. And because we've got almost 10.5 to 11 feet of rise on this building that basically faces where the wind goes, because that's kind of where we had to put it, it may be at risk for grabbing some of that higher. It's just higher, so it's gonna have a hard time not being grabbed by high winds. Okay, so we have completed the concreting the bases. We haven't completed all 6 pilings. However, that's because what I'm going to do, I paused on the center 2, the one in the middle and then this other one in the middle over here, because what I'm going to need to do is put my floor joists in and find out where the center joist is going to meet here, because it's going to kind of compete where the door is going to be later. So I went ahead and paused, but the hole here and then the other hole there have been dug. This one's technically actually just hanging from that 2x4, and that 2x4, it's just a placeholder for later, because I'm going to actually cut the tops of these 3 off right here and bring them down to about 6 inches lower than the front section here, because that will give me the slant that I want for the roof for the rain and snow runoff. And I might even put like a catchment system back there. I mean, I could probably fill a 55-gallon drum on a good rain just from a 4x8 section of roofing, which is what this will be. Now, about the biogas system. So the biogas, if you haven't heard of it, it's a really cool system where the toilet is going to sit up high. Then the large hole that I've dug into the earth over this way is going to be where the actual digester bag sits. So the toilet elbow out, like the flushing tube out, needs to be at least a meter, 3 feet higher then the top of the bag, where the top elbow drops into that digester bag. And then from there, the effluent that comes out either can be collected and used as fertilizer, or it can be dumped into, a leach field, which is the same exact thing as how it happens in a septic tank, except the septic tank here is effectively above the ground. That's the difference. It also kicks off methane gas that is capable of feeding a stove, which when you buy the Home Biogas system, they also send you a small single burner stove along with that. And if you look at the end of the hole over that way, there is the leach field to be. Right next to that, sitting on the ground there, are some it's like a thin grow mulch that'll be on top, and then the black bags on the other side over there are the thicker lower mulch that's going to line the bottom, and then of course below that it's going to be just stones. So it will eventually make its way into the soil, and around that area we're just going to plant a bunch of flowers and stuff, and hopefully kind of drink up some of the effluent. I'm also thinking about, and this could be a little tricky, but as I said, you can collect the liquid in a fertilizer, and that fertilizer can be used in planting vegetables. It's one of the richest fertilizers you can have, the most nitrogen-rich fertilizers that can be made. And various counties will have questions on the regulation of things like that, but there are ways around it. For instance, there is a marijuana farm in the next county over that potentially will be taking 55-gallon drums of that liquid from here, bringing it out to their location and using it in their pot farm. What Yavapai County's regulations are, I have no idea. There have been a couple of human manure projects that were attempted to be started here in Coconino County, but I think the county just fought them until they kind of went broke and gave it up. So, but in any case, we are, I guess probably I'd say 1/4, 25 to maybe 30% of the way through on the frame for the flushing toilet, bathroom, lavatory construction. I'll continue that on a second video, and probably even a third video where I'll actually install and fill the digester bag for the Home Biogas system. If you enjoyed this video, why not reach out? You could be a podcast guest, get discounts on rentals, or even collaborate on a project. Send inquiries to offgridbnb@gmail.com.